Alright, hey everybody. Sorry it took so long to get this tutorial up. Just been really busy lately. Haven't had a lot of time to start to work on it. But finally, the tutorial for dual booting Ubuntu and Android on your Nexus 7. Um, just a little forementioned, you are going to need a rooted and unlocked bootloader on your Nexus 7. So let's just jump right in. Alright, so all the files that you're going to need, I'm going to go ahead and put in the description, just to make it easier on you guys. You are going to need the multi-ROM, which is now at version 8, your Ubuntu install. This is going to be about 1.5 gigs after fully installed, so just make sure you have some room on there. You're going to need this kernel file, and you're going to need your new recovery. You're also going to need your Nexus 7 toolkit. All of these will be in the description below. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and start up our tablet. Right now I'm in Android 4.2.1. So if you have higher than 4.2.1, you have two options. You can either donate to get the Nexus 7 toolkit that has the 4.2.2 or higher operating systems on it, or you can do what I did and just downgrade to below 2.2. So we're going to go ahead and go to our Nexus 7, to our root, and you can see here 3 files you're going to need. You're going to need the the Ubuntu, the kernel, and the multi-ROM. Make sure you have all those in your root. Alright, next we are going to go into our recovery, and just going to go and reboot there. The first thing we're going to do is actually install the multi-ROM itself. Everything in here relatively quick, besides the Ubuntu install. That takes between 15 and 20 minutes. It's going to be the longest part of this whole thing, and most likely I'll end up cutting it, so you don't have to sit there and wait 20 minutes while it installs. The modified recovery that you're going to need for this is going to be Team Wins. There is no Clockwork mod recovery yet for it, so sorry to you guys who like Clockwork mod, but gotta give it to take it. So before you do any of this, make sure you have a backup of everything. An Android if you can, if not, just back up everything you need. Just before we go any further, we're going to go to install, and going to do our multi-ROM first. And we just wipe. This takes not even 5 seconds to do. So, and then we're going to go ahead and reboot. Yeah, there we go. Now, the screen that comes up is the multi-ROM screen. Don't get excited yet, still got a lot to do. Yours will not have the Ubuntu install yet. I'm gonna go ahead and click boot down here, and you're gonna get this screen. So boot into internal. Internal is your Android. I have CyanogenMod. The stock ROMs work as well for this. Just as long as you replace the kernel, which we're going to do in a minute. So don't really have to do anything here. Next, we go up to our Nexus 7 toolkit, and we're also going to want to go into, if you're familiar with the Nexus 7 toolkit, you know you have this file or folder right here called put image files to flash here. We're going to want to go ahead and put our recovery in there. So just drag and drop it in there, and we're good to go. Go back to our toolkit, and no, I don't want to update. And here we just pick our build. I have build 4. Alright, what we're going to want is number 11, boot or flash image files to device. So, let's move this up so you can see. Got number 11 in there. We are going to want TWRP. Now, it's a long file name, but thankfully all you have to do is, if this is the only one you have in there, just type capital T and asterisk. And file found. We're going to want to flash to recovery, which is 3, and type yes. Oh, duh. You need to be actually in bootloader for this, so I'm going to go down here and reboot into bootloader. I did this when I was doing this earlier just to make sure everything worked right, and I made a mention to mention it in the video before it came up, and I failed. So it'll only take a second to get back into bootloader. Now we're back in bootloader. Automatically detects it, and we're done. Then next we want to go ahead and close that. Go into recovery. Next we are going to install the kernel. If you do not install this kernel, it's not going to work. I accidentally did that earlier. I completely forgot, and it completely crashed on me. I actually had to go through the process of reinstalling Ubuntu, so it put me 20 minutes out of my way. So next, go back to install, go on down to the kernel, and go ahead and swipe. Again, this one won't take all that long, maybe 10 seconds, and we're done. Then we go to home. Now for the fun part. In advanced, we now have this little guy called multi-ROM. Going to go up to add ROM. You want Ubuntu desktop, and install to internal memory, and next. Then we're going to go and find our Ubuntu, which is this guy right here, and swipe to confirm. I'm not going to do that though. That's the last step you need. I don't have enough room to do another Ubuntu install on here right now. But after that, this will take about 20 minutes. But after all that's done, it's going to tell you to, I believe it says back. After that, you're just going to go down to reboot, if it doesn't already reboot, and system. And the next screen you get should be your multi-boot. Should be seeing that right now. Go ahead and click that and boot. If I can click it right. And we're booting. Now, two things I will mention. When you're installing Ubuntu, your screen will go black. Don't worry about it. It's just a battery saver. The install continues. To get back into it, just click on the screen, tap on the screen, whatever you want to call it, and it'll come back up. So it's not a big worry. During the install, you do either want to have at least 50% charge, or make sure you're plugged in to the wall, not your computer. The computer doesn't have enough power to put more power than it's drawing. Another thing, if when you go to click on it on Ubuntu, if you get some white text on a black background, read what it says. There's going to be mainly two errors that come up. The first one is going to be the init file was corrupt or missing. For that, no, see, we're already in Ubuntu. Your first boot is going to take a while to boot up. Just be patient. If you get the init file missing, you're gonna hard boot like I just did. Hold down the power button for at least 10 to 15 seconds. Boot back into recovery. Alright, my battery's starting to die, so I gotta make this quick. If this will ever start. There we go. We're going down to advanced, multi-ROM, list ROMs first, and the Ubuntu install, and go down to repatch init. This will fix your init file. Now, if you get another one that says you have a tar missing, you're going to have to completely reinstall. A third error you might get is it won't even boot up. It'll give you a big red screen that says something about the kernel. Go ahead and reinstall your kernel. 3 simple fixes. And so, as you saw, we were in Ubuntu. It loaded up fine. I haven't actually run through this version of Ubuntu yet to get all the glitches and stuff. But I'm sure from what I've read, semi-stable. Again, there's not going to be a completely stable release for this probably anytime soon, as hang on. Alright. As it's a daily release build. Here we have Ubuntu loading again. Sorry for that switch up there. Had to plug my phone in so I could get some battery life in. Again, this is going to take a while to, your first boot up will take a while. And one thing I have noticed with this is every time you go to rotate the screen gets all glitchy. Don't ask me why, I have no clue. So, you know, I didn't make the Ubuntu for this. I didn't make the multi-ROM or the toolkit or anything. All those programs are to their respective owners. I'm just showing you how to do this all. And we're at the welcome screen. Just step by step through this, and we're pretty much done. Now I'm just going to go ahead and show you that the Android install is still there. I'm going to have to hard boot it because you can't touch anything except for this right now. So, this is like my 6th or 7th take on this. I was going to use hypercam and actually record on screen the files and stuff, but that didn't really work out right. So our Android is going to be on internal, and just go down to boot, and it's going to go ahead and boot it up. So I decided to just do it all in one take, no cutting or anything. So hopefully this tutorial wasn't too bad. Again, it's 3:43 at night. I've been working on this since 10:30, so I'm getting pretty tired. But yeah, we're back in Ubuntu now, or sorry, Android, and there we are. Voila. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you have any questions or any problems, critics, or criticism, anything, go ahead and post it down below in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you guys as soon as possible this time. Life is going pretty slow right now, so I actually have some time to look at all that stuff. Thanks again, and hope you enjoyed, and hope everything ran smooth for you. Take care.